What's going on, world? It's the KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast. I'm Kuya P, and I'm joined by my trios champions here at the NRW. I got the man with fancy tees, Mr. Sean Mongold. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Feeling it. A lot of wrestling.
Sir. A lot going on.
Yes, sir.
So much. God damn.
And the man who's of style and who's also traveling in that style. So that's why the bow tie ain't tied. He's had a long day, but it's my man
been a
with
long week.
style. How are you, sir?
What's going on, everybody? I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's happy hour. You know, bow tie comes loose during happy hour. You know what I mean?
It's happy hour, and I'm sure he's really happy about this.
He got the mini bar. There you go.
The happy hour is on right now, and I know he's happy about this because he is our resident TNA fan, and they are having Slammiversary this weekend, as you kind of see behind me, Ash by Elegance, and our girl, the Juggernaut, Jordan Grace. We got Moose, Mustafa Ali, a lot going on, but I don't know too much about TNA. I'm trying to get in there, and thankfully with that connection with NXT, I think we're all learning a lot more. But we're going to toss it over to my man Webster Style to lead us off with some picks for Slammiversary, and then we'll get into, AEW, WWE, but we got to show more love to TNA. And I promise you, Eldon, I'll be there to rock with you. I know Sean's
all right.
They're all feeling interested how they're integrating with NXT. That we'll all be TNA fans sooner or later.
Look, it's hard to watch everything.
That's the thing,
it's hard to watch everything.
I would be there a lot further along if I had more time. But let's go ahead and get into these Slammiversary picks, man. Here we go.
First up, that the Impactor, tonight's Impact, if you watch it, I am all over that bad boy behind the announcer's desk. All over it. So check me out. Tonight, TNA Impact. Shameless plug is Thursday. But no, let's get into it because a lot of the matches were set up at the tapings I went to a couple weeks ago. So first up, we got for the TNA X Division Championship, Mustafa Ali versus who's a champion with Speedball Mike Bailey. Now at the Impact that's dropping today, Speedball had to go through all of Ali's Secret Service people and then campaign Singh. So he did that. And classic style, Mustafa Ali got the one up on him, so that's the Impact for Slammiversary. I think they might put it on Mike Bailey, but that's gonna be a hell of a match. Next we got the Militia, so it's Alicia Edwards and Marsha Slamovich. I still don't know what happened to Killer Kelly because I loved her and Marsha Slamovich as a team versus Spitfire, Danny Luna and Jody Threat. I'm putting my money on Spitfire. They've been really doing a good job of building them up over the past few months after they came into TNA. So I don't know. Of course, Alicia Edwards and whatnot, they're part of the system, and the system's a dominant faction right now. So I don't know. AJ Francis with Rich Homie Swan, as it's called now, versus PCO for the Digital Media Championship and the Canadian International Heavyweight Championship. I don't know. Let me tell you, this storyline is entertaining as hell, though. But I'm putting my money on PCO. I'm putting my money on the Canadian Frankenstein in this one. Then we have the system, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards versus ABC, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay for the tag team championships. I'm putting my money on the system. I'm putting my money on the system in this one. I like ABC. I think ABC should win it, but I think they might give it to the system. And then we have Jordan Grace versus Ash by Elegance for the Knockouts title. I don't see them giving it to Ash by Elegance. I really don't. Not off of Jordan.
Really?
I think, no. I really don't. I do not think, and again, I don't think it's a matter of building her up. I just think that's not the right person to take it off of Jordan. I mean, it can happen, but I don't see them doing that. I can see Ash winning it once Jordan drops the belt to somebody.
This is why I think it might happen and totally shock us because Jordan has been getting such the love, Do you think they might have made a deal and this would shock people and that brings her finally over to NXT?
No, because her contract is up next year, from what I heard.
Oh, the contract. You know what? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
so we're aware as fans how long already right now her contract is right now.
Yeah, 2020, January 2025. is when her contract is up. So what they say. So, but I don't see them taking it off of Jordan. And honestly, just looking at the women's division lately, we've already talked about the Knockouts division, how it's been really, really good. It's not saying it's not good. It's their ranks are kind of thin right now. Whenever you think about it, as far as like viable competitors.
Yeah, is there anybody on her level?
Yeah, because a lot of people who like she's had good feuds with are in other companies now. That really they built up and were credible people as far as a wrestling aspect. Not to take anything away from Asper Elegance, aka Dana Brooke. And we've talked before. I've always been a fan of hers. I liked her when she was in WWE. I love what they was doing with her in NXT before they released her. I just wouldn't put the belt on her from Jordan.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we got the six-man battle for the TNA World Championship. Moose versus Josh Alexander, Steve Macklin, Nick Nemeth, Frankie Kazarian, and Joe Hendry. I see it going to Joe Hendry, particularly because he is so over right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely over. And to have the TNA champion showing up on WWE TV is a win-win for everybody. And the fact that WWE is mining him for NXT, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. It makes sense. He doesn't have to have a long title reign at all, but just the optics, it would be beautiful for TNA.
What a cool scenario would be. I try not to chime in. Like every other match, I knew who the people were. So it's just like some of them just like, wait, what? Who are those people?
Right.
But what in that key scenario, like I think yes, give it to Joe Hendry, and then that will allow NXT to bring Moose over to fight Oba Femi.
Right. Oh, that would be awesome.
So that would
Moose
be insane.
Versus Oba Femi, dog.
Woo.
And bro, that is a match.
Yeah, that is a match.
That is a match right there.
I don't care who wins that.
Yeah, and like I just I find it a little reluctant that they would let like their top champion lose to the mid-card champion in NXT. So I feel like he has to drop the belt in order to have that match.
Right.
Because they're probably not going to have Moose win on NXT. It's probably going to be Oba. And
not win the title, but I mean the Rascals won this week. They beat Gallus, and Zach Wesley got the pin. I mean, they had Joe in the main event last week, and he got the pin. Yeah, it was. So
yeah, but winning title, you know what I mean? Like
no, winning the title, no. But I swear, I don't understand how in this short of time WWE is giving more shine at the TNA than AEW did in that months-long angle they did with them. And they just totally shit on them.
Yeah.
Totally shit on TNA Impact with what they were doing. And I don't know. But yeah,
I mean, they also shit on Ring of Honor, and it's theirs. That's a whole nother conversation, because I'm like, what are they doing Ring of Honor? Like, really, I don't understand why Briscoe is on TNA. And New Japan.
Not TNA, but I don't understand
single
why
New Japan
Briscoe
person has fucking gotten an AEW title. Not a single one. You know how many AEW people have gotten New Japan titles? Shit ton.
Exactly. Well, speaking of, let's go into AEW, because that's it for Slammiversary. And like I said, it's not a long card, but there's gonna be some phenomenal matches in that bad boy. So you're talking about AEW, Sean. Like, what's going on with that?
Man, well, I mean, if you didn't catch Dynamite last night, as of this recording, that was their 250th episode. So they had a big thing. So they started off with Will Ospreay and MJF, 60-minute match for the title. What does he have? The international title, I think. Yes. Right.
International,
So it was a great match, man. There was a lot of fun spots. There's a lot of cool, maneuvers. There was a lot of good fucking moves. Like there's a crazy hidden blade that fucking Will hits on MJF when he's outside the ring, and Will just dives through the middle ropes and fucking, as MJF's not even looking, like just trying to do like, I outsmarted him. He hits him with a hidden blade. That shit was vicious looking. Like torture rack, sit up fucking power bombs. Like it was just everything. They continued the storyline that he doesn't want to do the Tiger Driver, blah, 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 blah. Like hesitated, had MJF up, was about to hit it, let him back down. And then it was like less than a minute left in the match, and MJF fucking pushed Will into the ref, grabbed the ring out of his pants, and fucking clocked Will, dog. Like, and Will sold the shit out of it. I don't know how people do that for an hour. Like, that is exhausting. But yeah, he got the pin 1, 2, 3, just as like 2 seconds were left in the match.
I heard it wasn't a clean win though. I heard there was some outside interference by a 6-year-old girl.
That was funny. But that was that was Will telling the girl to hit him. And then he flicked the kid off. MJF flicked the kid off. It was so
That's
funny.
awesome.
It was really
awesome.
cute. But yeah, I mean, I took up literally half the show because it was a 60-minute match. But also at the same time, like, I saw the ratings. They had 800,000 people, which they haven't gotten since like April. So obviously it's like a big anniversary. It's 250th episode. Will and MJF for the first time ever. But also, this kind of brings up my point that we talk about every other week is, you guys give us these amazing matches on your regular weekly television.
Mm-hmm.
What does that do to your pay-per-view? Like, I'm glad we got that, and I'm glad I didn't have to pay $50 for it. But at the same time, like, you're going to want to run that back again. They had this insane match that was over 60 minutes. So how do you top that? Like, obviously add stipulations, but like, stipulations, to me, sometimes get a little stale, So it's just like, you guys are you're spoiling us a little bit,
Right.
Sometimes when you get spoiled rotten. And you want that much more for what you're paying for a pay-per-view. You're paying $50, $60. That's when you expect those matches because you're paying your fucking money.
Exactly.
But yeah, so other than that,
my Mariah May prediction. I don't know if we talked about it last week, but remember, I made that prediction about Mariah May and it came true. And I'm like,
that was beautiful. That's what we haven't talked since then. That was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, after winning the Owen.
So what do you think about that now with Tony and all of that? I haven't been able to tune in. I'm looking forward to it, but I've been seeing the dirt sheets. I'm like, yes. Bro. I think it really built out her now. So now she's got some shine. Tony, what do you think, guys?
She's British. So All In's coming around the corner. So, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, split them up, have the big All In match. They have history. Yet again, if you didn't watch Dynamite, there's a clip of Toni Storm coming out, and when she gets to the ring, you realize, oh shit, it's not Toni Storm, it's Mariah May. And
I saw that on the Traveler Day,
yeah. So Mariah May looks fucking just. I had no fucking clue, dog.
She looked just like her, straight up doppelganger.
Fucking clue. That duped me. But yeah, she came out and pretty much just essentially called Tony dumb. And for not expecting this and this and the other, and was just like hinting at, like beating her ass in front of all her people. So of course it's All In bound.
So do y'all think she has a charisma though now to pull things off on her own?
Absolutely.
I agree.
I think she always had it. I just think that they had to introduce her to the AEW fan base.
Yeah.
And then obviously
I think for me,
her have 3-way kisses.
Right.
Of course, they're just like, oh yeah,
pop. But I think for me, when the real test for what they do with her will be after the storyline with Tony's done.
Yeah.
Because the storyline with Tony, I mean,
Tony,
what they're doing with Tony is
all that.
Yeah. When Mariah's,
what is that? What is happening with Mina?
Yeah.
When Mariah's on her own, that's when it's really going to be a true test if they can really do a good story with her.
Yeah.
And they would have created a new star. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Holy, with what they did with Tony, revolutionized her since leaving WWE, really kind of came into her own as a superstar, I'd say. And now they developed Mariah May with that line. I like what they did with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with all that, just because I know Jamie Hayter is apparently been cleared to wrestle to come back. So I'm wondering if she's going to interfere somehow at All In, especially she's British too.
Yep.
And that
Good.
would be the pop for her to come back, is right out all in and maybe betray fucking Tony. Because wasn't she last with Tony, or was she last with Britt?
I think she was last with Britt, but it's been a while, so I don't remember.
Yeah, I think maybe it was Britt. I can't. All the shit just kind of falls together sometimes. But yeah, I think either that or, like I said, like, you know, because in the same last night, Mercedes fought Nyla Rose.
Oh, how was that?
It was a decent match. It was a pretty good match.
Yeah,
they put on a pretty
Nyla's
good
funny,
match.
man.
Yeah, Nyla's hilarious.
Nyla's
like,
awesome.
are you out of your mind?
Yeah,
that was so. I'm glad they got that.
I think
put that
Mercedes. Yeah, Mercedes tried to do like the spin around like tornado DDT, and Nyla stopped her and caught her midair and was just like, "Are you out of your mind?" and picked her little ass up and like suplexed her.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing
great.
that because, you know, Nyla's amazing.
Yeah,
I love
so they actually worked really well. Mercedes finally wrestling, you know, because it took us a while to get her to be wrestling. You think she's now coming back into her own again?
I think she is, and she's also a heel now. So I think they're finally like laying into that. They finally like pulled that trigger, especially when Britt got cleared. And they just noticed, like, even at the Boston, not the Boston, where were they? I think it was Chicago, maybe. I don't know. They're I don't know sports, but like there's just like booing her because she's from Boston. And so they're like, okay, you know, she's just not going to get over as a face, as Turner. So now she's doing like promos with the EVPs, the CEO and the EVPs. And there's a clip, you have to watch it. It is fucking hilarious. It's the EVPs, it's the Young Bucks and Okada.
Okada.
Yo, this is hilarious. This is like one of the funniest things.
Oh man!
Like, she comes up and she's like, "Oh, look, it's the fucking, you know, it's the EVPs, blah 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 blah." Like, you know, just doing like, you know, her little vibing thing. They're like, "Yeah. It's great to have the CEO and the EVPs together and blah blah blah." And then Okada whispers something to like Matt or one of them, and was just like, he was like, "Oh, hey, Mercedes, Okada just wanted to know if you could give us the CEO dance," and she did it. Or whatever, and then they were just like, yeah, we love that, blah 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 blah. Like, you know, like, you're gonna squash in the DMD, and she walks away, and Okada's just like sweating, just like, like unbuttoning his shirt, just like,
I loved it.
And the Young Bucks are like, cut the camera, cut the camera, like, just
that's awesome,
swooning, and it's just like the comedic time, like just like the comedy from Okada is just, it's so good, you know, and. I like there's a lot of things I really liked about this episode, you know. They had a
starting to get things right.
They had a weird thing. Bullet Club Gold is fighting fuck. Who is it? They're fighting, they got their tag their trios belts stripped away. Fuck, I forgot. Oh well, whatever. There's too many people, but they had a cool little like promo last night too, so that was really interesting.
Why'd they get it stripped away?
I think I don't fucking remember. It was something.
I think they said they couldn't do it by free bear rules because they were having Juice come in since Jay wasn't there, and they told them they couldn't do that, so they stripped them of the titles.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, because Juice replaced Jay, I think, during Collision, one of their matches. But yeah, it's they have another match on Collision coming up because they're like full-time Collision boys essentially. But yeah, so they had a little promo. Acclaimed had a promo with Mark Briscoe, with Swerve coming in because Blood and Guts is next week. They're going to go against the Elite. You know, the last match of the night was Okada versus Ospreay. And that was a really good match. It was starting to be a good match, but they were running out of time because, you know, all the matches is 60 minutes for MJF and Will Ospreay, and then everything else. And then, you know, eventually, like, you know, 10 minutes into the match.
Okada versus who?
Swerve.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah. Swerve versus Okada. And the Young Bucks came in and just jumped Swerve essentially. And then everyone started coming out. And then Hangman eventually came out and did the stare down with Swerve, and it was like 5-on-4, and then Darby appears from the rafters like Sting.
I saw clips of that. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I know, right? Tony was just like, it's Darby, like the Sting, like it's Sting. I was just like, come on, guy. Like, I understand, but at the same time, like, get your own gimmick.
Well, let me tell you. So when I went to BlurCon last weekend, the only panel I went to was his wrestling panel, and there was a general consensus that everybody fucking hates Darby, and they think the shit he does is just absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
Consensus.
I'm entertained as fuck. I love dumb shit. That is very jackass levels of just idiocracy. Like, I fucking love that. I just hate his character. I hate his character work. I hate his promos. I hate, like, it doesn't feel like it's his own. You know? Like, at least with, like, Jack Perry, you know, still hate the motherfucker, but, like, at least he didn't steal a gimmick, and at least he's still not bringing up CM Punk. You know what I mean? Like, he tried to fall into his own, right? Granted, it's spurred from someone else, which I was mad about, but, like, now it's his own thing. Whatever. I don't think he should be champion off jump like that. I think that was horse shit. But whatever. It is what it is. And yeah, so Blood and Guts is next week. So we got Team AEW, which has Acclaimed and Swerve and Mark and Darby versus the Elite, which also includes Adam Page. And that's very interesting because, you know, Darby and Swerve had a big feud when Darby was with Nick Wayne. Like, they had a big feud, and then also I think Swerve had a big feud with the Acclaimed too for a little bit when he was with Keith Lee. When they were
man, that was a while ago. Yeah.
But, like, all of them kind of have, like, a history. So it's very interesting, that dynamic. I'm pretty sure it's going to fall apart. But it's going to be a great match next week. So I'm excited for next week. So yeah, I feel like they're running on all cylinders right now. They got great ratings.
They picked back up, you think?
Well, so the ratings picked up just because it was a special episode. It was their anniversary. It's 250 episodes. Minoru Suzuki came out and officially challenged Chris Jericho because he did Learning Tree shit. He came out and was just like, I'm fighting you at Blood and Guts. And so that's, you know, we got Minoru Suzuki versus Chris Jericho at Blood and Guts for next week. So
yay, Murder Grandpa.
Yeah, Murder Grandpa, baby. So, you know, that's going to be fun. But yeah, as far as if it's consistent is remain to be seen. Because as of right now, I mean, All In's next month, I think, right? It's August?
Yes, August. Yes, and August.
There's only really one match kind of dedicated to it, and that's Swerve versus Daniel Bryanson. Yeah. And I'm assuming Mariah May and Toni Storm, because she gets a title match, so I'm assuming that too. But yeah, other than that, I mean, of course, we're probably going to get Mercedes and Britt, because after a match with Nyla, you know, a fan had a sign, ripped it up, and because Britt wasn't supposed to be in the building, and there was a person in a mask, and of course, that person shoved Mercedes, took off the mask, and it's Britt. So they're going to continue that for a while and build it up to All In.
Of course.
But yeah, you know, we'll see what Collision and Dynamite next week, what Blood and Guts gets. I mean, it's another special episode because it's Blood and Guts, so it should do better than normal for ratings. But right when it gets back to, like, regular Dynamite episodes that aren't special is going to be the true test.
You know, they have the potential to have a really good run over the next few weeks with what you said, because Blood and Guts is next week. So that's last week in July. Then it's a month. Is it a month? Because the end of August is like the 20-something or other is All In. So then basically they're just setting up All In. So they have a potential for telling some really good stories up until All In.
Yeah. All In's August 25th.
Yeah. They got potential there.
Which I found is really weird because All Out is like September 7th. So it's like 2 weeks apart.
Yes. That's how it was last year. That was people complaining about it too.
That seems so weird.
Hell, we complain about it because the storylines.
Yeah. That's just so weird. Like, how do you, like, because All In is supposed to be like your fucking your WrestleMania. It's supposed to, like, end storylines, and then you have another pay-per-view 2 weeks later. Like,
right?
Are you just not going to end storylines and continue them on, or are you going to try to build up something new in those 2 weeks?
Well, this is the problem with that, in my opinion. They have a hell of a roster and a whole lot of things going on where they could do that. The problem is they have not been telling compelling enough stories across the board. Like what we're getting in All In as of right now are, in theory, we have Osprey, not Osprey, but Swerve versus Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
We have Mariah May versus Tony Storm.
Yeah.
We're going to have
Mercedes and Britt.
Mercedes and Britt. Those are 3 matches right there.
Yeah. Will is obviously going to have a match. I just don't know what Will.
Right.
Oh, and our current CMLL champion, by the way.
Oh, Willow. Yeah.
We didn't talk about that.
Right.
That's
right.
How cool was that?
They said, hey, we had you lose the Owen, but we worked something out. You're going to get a belt over here.
That was pretty sweet.
That was pretty
Willow's good peoples, man.
Which is smart for CMLL, especially with Stephanie Becker vacating the belt.
And we didn't talk about that at all. Should we allude that to get into WWE?
That's a good that's a good good segue into WWE.
Yeah. So let's talk about it.
Stephanie Becker was signed by WWE. She showed up at their Mexican Super Shows last week, I think it was.
Yeah, live events.
and she's going to NXT. Apparently, she was called directly by Shawn Michaels, and he laid out the plan for the next year for creative.
Bro.
And
you have Julia coming back from injury reserve too, from injury, and Stephanie Becker. Yep. Bro, that woman's division is about to get wild. That's why I don't know why they're wasting bullshit time. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go on that tangent. I'm going to shut up.
We'll save it for later, man. Yeah, but is Stephanie that girl? I haven't really seen her wrestle, bro. So she that good?
Did you watch the Mercedes match?
Nah, bro, not yet, man.
Woo!
So she good.
Yes,
she's good. Yeah,
she is good.
So was that a big loss? You think that AEW didn't pull that off after the fact?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a big loss. Definitely a big loss. But it's a bigger win for her because I think she would have got lost in that division.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
like they I mean, Mercedes is kind of like the Mercedes zone right now, at least for one of the belts, and then Tony and Mariah are fighting for that. Like, it's not like Roxanne, where Roxanne's kind of fighting everybody, kind of thing for the belt, which also doesn't make sense in a way but I think Thea's about to get the next title match. And
which makes sense.
Does not make sense.
It makes sense to me. I do. I like Thea. Personally, I like Thea. I like Thea with them with her character.
Where's my baby Lash?
Look, I agree with you. But if they have Lash go against her, well, Lash needs to win. I don't mind Thea getting some shine and losing, especially what they've been doing to chase you. They've been putting them in good positions. They've been having good matches, and every single one of them been losing. It's New Cousin just against Opa Femi, and they had a really good match. Yeah, exactly. So Chase U are essentially the jobbers at NXT in many respects, but they have great character work. Yes, but they have great character work, and that's why I'm liking Thea. I like what they've done. I think there's a good, especially we talk about the small people.
They fell into the
two small people.
They fell in the New Day realm, where it's just like they're great characters, they great workers, they have great matches. They can work a crowd. They can work an opponent. They don't need a belt.
Right. Exactly. You're right. Yeah, exactly right. But with Julia and Stephanie coming in, I mean, that's going to shake up the women's division.
Yeah.
I think really.
Actually, never going to do it now.
No, this is what I disagree with. I think that they ain't going to put on a belt right away. They're going to have them go through the division. And I think by that time happens, Lash will be champion. And they'll take the belt off of Lash. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
American or the main?
Main. I think if Lash is winning the belt, it's going to be the title. I definitely see Lash beating Roxanne. I see. It makes sense to me for them to take the belt off of Roxanne and put it on Lash and put her over.
But where's the story? Like I said, like Lash got involved with Trick, and then that went nothing. That went nowhere.
Yeah, they're not telling a good story with that.
And I'm just like, where the fuck's my baby?
Yeah, I agree.
What's she doing?
Look, I feel you, Sean. Same page. Same page.
I know. Anyway, I'm sorry. I know we like that was just NXT, but real quick, WWE, how we feel about Bloodline 2.0, Wolfpack Bloodline. So they're kind of continuing it. Jacob Fatu, that's just showing how fucking crazy this motherfucker is. He got hit with the heat seeker from Randy, and Randy went to do like his fucking taunt to do an RKO, and Jacob stood right the fuck up. And that was great. That was just a great image right there, and showcasing how crazy that motherfucker is and how strong he is. So
they're making good TV with that.
Yeah,
it's very good TV. SummerSlam is going to be something else.
It is. I can't wait. War Games.
Yeah, me either.
It's going to be great.
Oh man, War Games. Oh man, we got a lot of stuff happening. But
it's going to be crazy. But
I will say this too. Just we talked about YS6 and whatnot, but Gunther and Priest, the way they're positioned, they're doing a very good job.
Yeah.
Of putting Priest over as a face in this feud.
And Priest has finally had his best on. He's always been terrible on the mic, but that little speech he had with Gunther, I caught a little bit of that. I was like, okay, Priest, I see you now.
Well, I think he can actually be a little bit more personal now, instead of trying to be like this.
And Gunther's really become a real asshole now, which is good. Good for his character.
He always has. But I think with Damian, like they always wanted Damian to be the asshole. I think like the kind of like overtowering badass, and I don't think he feels comfortable with that. Because like you see the videos of him like being goofy with Caden, being goofy with Rhea, and being buddies. Like he's a very kind of joyous person. Like he's happy he made it. You know what I mean? So like I think if you let him be a little bit more genuine, I think that the promo work's going to get better. And I think that's what we're seeing. And still, even like the backstage promos with like Dom fucking up, and now Mommy's back.
So, how y'all feel about? I caught a little about
Mommy's
that.
back.
How are y'all feeling about all that? I'm loving that,
bro.
She's I don't know destroy Liv.
If you did not watch Raw, like it was so fucking funny. Like just the nuances. Like Dom was like, "Mommy, like I saw Jay talking mess to you, and like and you're mine, so I challenged him to a match." And she was like, "Wait, what?" She was like, "I'm nobody's property." And like what? And he was like, "Well, I'll just stop the match, I just won't do it." And then she was like, "What are you, a coward? Like go do the match." Like just completely goading him. It was so good. And then he had the match. Liv came out, did her thing, they fell on top of each other. Rhea came out, scared off and they got into the ring. And essentially, Rhea gave Dom a flower, pretty much forgiving him, and was just like, "I'm no one's property, but you are mine." And like gave him the flower, and he's like smiled. So I'm like, I guess they made up. So like, this is great. Like this is hilarious.
Yeah, it's really great.
It's like a little submissive, like not really knowing what the fuck to do. So that was really fun. That was a good angle. So like there's definitely a lot of things happening in Raw. Like this past Raw, that was a good Raw. So I would definitely check it out. And then we got the Wyatt 6 promo. So they went to Pat McAfee's show again. His podcast dropped off the tape. It was a tape for Rowan. Very emotional. Very, very hard hitting. Again, what happened, with everything with Brody and Bray. That was really rough. That struck a chord.
Tug at your heartstrings, man.
Oh, bro, it did. And then Chad came out and was just like, "I'm a master detective. I know who Buddy Howdy is. It's Bo Dallas. I know none of you thought of that." And then he calls Bo out. Bo comes out. And it's really fun. This is what I'm talking about. Creed Brothers came out as heels, and they're wearing suits now. So like, I love like the suit iconography being like the heelish move, but it's like, it's never form-fitting. It's like the button down with a couple buttons open with like, a medium fitting suit. And then like Bo comes out in just a t-shirt, but also a suit jacket. And it's just like, I love that the faces sometimes do that, but also it's like Cody is just like 3-piece suit in and up, like completely fitted. So I love the variations of like the suit game within like heels and faces. It's so interesting. But anyway, Bo comes out. And they beat the shit out of Bo, and he's laughing maniacally. And then eventually he's in a corner laughing, and all the people come out and scare off the Creed Brothers and Chad. And like they're in the middle of the ring, just like laughing, like Bo's laughing, and all of them are just around him. It's like great. It's a great image, strobe lights, everything. It was just really, really good. And then the last match, which was amazing, was fucking Ilya versus Sami Zayn. And
Oh man, yeah,
Oh.
that was.
How was that?
Such a good match.
Who? I'm assuming Sammy retained it, but
yeah, Sammy.
Mad Dragon though, I hope they're not. Did he
don't-
still look good?
Oh yeah, he
Because
definitely
Mad Dragon
yeah.
is badass, man. Don't.
Yeah,
He is.
I love. They're still hyping him up.
Okay.
And then but I actually no. So Sammy won by DQ because Braun Breaker interfered. So
okay.
Braun came out and speared Ilya, I think. So Ilya technically won, but didn't get the belt. So I definitely see that being like a 3-way at SummerSlam. Ilya versus Sammy versus Braun.
That's a good way of taking the belt off of Sammy too.
Yes, absolutely. Because he's also doing his comedy thing, so he might want some time to go do his comedy thing a little bit more. I just don't know who you put it on. Like I can see it going to Braun.
It could be either of the two with me.
Yeah. But also with Gunther fighting for the belt and maybe possibly beating Damian, possibly, some way, somehow. That could be Ilya versus Gunther for the belt, later down the line. So it's just...
I feel like I would rather have it on your the matches he would have. Again, I like Braun. I've always said I like Braun Breaker, but I think in this aspect, I would like to see Ilya take it, but then that just turns into a long running feud between him and Braun Breaker for the belt. And maybe you add people in and out of that. I
can see that. And then, and like my whole thing too is just like, I definitely see Judgment Day breaking up. I definitely see because Rhea's kind of the face. I definitely see Rhea and Damian kind of splitting off together along with Dom. Because also Damian's been like a big brother to Dom, like trying to give him advice about, the girls and everything like that. And Finn and JD are kind of off to their devices, kind of playing video games, not really caring, doing their own thing, taking advice from Liv. And Carlito, I forgot about Carlito. He had a funny segment last on Monday too, man. He's hilarious. But I don't know where he fits. You know what I mean? Like that's always hard.
Yeah.
Like where do you fit in with all that, right? So overall, WWE is great. Wyatt 6. I can't wait. I don't know, if they're going to have something at War Games, possibly. Maybe like a Chad Gable Alpha Academy team versus Wyatt 6. So
interesting.
It's probably not going to be Bo Dallas, but probably going to be like Joe Gacy, Dexter, Rowan versus Chad and the Creed brothers.
I like this 2.0 version of Alpha Academy. I like Gable with the Creed brothers.
Yeah, we've always said, I think we said that from a while ago.
Yeah.
Even before they came up, we said they were good in Alpha Academy.
Well, they kind of teased it, and then they kind of put them with Otis and Tozawa,
which was awkward.
Right.
Yeah, it worked because
it worked. Yeah, it worked.
But now they are tagging Otis and Tozawa are teaming with Austin.
Yeah.
Xavier Woods. From New Day because Kofi's hurt to go against the Final Testament. So it's just like, okay, I can't wait for the inevitable Final Testament versus Wyatt 6.
Yeah, that's a great matchup in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think honestly, the Final Testament needs something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
They need that good feud.
I'm kind of bored with them though. Like they don't.
They haven't.
It's like it's McMahon WWE with them though.
Absolutely, I can't stand carrying Cross, but there is a way to get that over, and they just haven't been able to find the footing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And like they tried to do it with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, and it just
ruined that. That'll be of the stuff that they've been getting a lot of stuff right, but they fucked that all up, man. Like, what are we doing with Street Profits? They're just like there. Bobby Lashley's just like there. Like they completely wasted those brothers, man.
Yeah, people are speculating that Carmelo might be involved with them soon.
No, I don't want that to happen.
That messes up his shine,
Yeah, exactly.
What shine has Carmelo had since being?
Well, he's kind of like the young, obnoxious, over, superstar who's now with the big leagues, and he's kind of like the young, obnoxious. But there's a shtick there, And then I think if you put him down there, that brings him down even more. I don't know. they could work something out, but they failed Bobby Lashley in this Prophet, man.
Yeah. That was an opportunity. Like they could have done something with that. Cause I feel like they teased like them going against a bloodline for a little bit, and then they just like straight pivoted back to Cody and the Cody boys. Like, and I understand, but at the same time, how many times are you going to see Cody, KO, and Randy fight the bloodline?
Yeah, the Cody pivot was out of the blue in many respects, in my opinion, and not something necessarily wanted, at least now.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
It kind of takes the belt out of the question a little bit.
Yes.
And that's the shit that annoyed me with Roman.
Yeah. Thank you. I was thinking the exact same thing.
And we went through that for 4 fucking years, and I thought we were done with it, and here we are, kind of back in the same thing. It's just not Roman, it's Cody now, and Cody's not taking a break or anything, but like he's not defending the title. He's in these 3-way, 4-way matches, these faction matches with a thrown together group. And it's just, I don't know. We'll see.
All right, guys.
Certain things fire on all pistons, and then some don't.
All right. Before we get up out of here, any predictions? A quick hot take until next week when we meet again. Any surprises do you think going to happen at Slammiversary, Eldon? Let's start with you, man.
I can't think of any. I don't know of like any free agents that have been talked about lately that could possibly show up at Slammiversary. And this is, what TNA's done lately. No surprises. I would be surprised if they don't put the belt on Joe Henry. That's what I'll be surprised with. That's the only surprise from Slammiversary that I could see coming.
All right. I think we all kind of feel, especially if you say his name, he's just going to show up. So, any surprises or any predictions for you, Sean?
I don't have any surprises. Oh, I forgot to mention Drew McIntyre came out to talk about CM Punk again. Whatever. But CM Punk's coming back next week. Prediction: Drew McIntyre comes out and they fight. I don't think
that's
anything crazy.
That is going to be entertaining.
Exactly. I don't think anything too crazy is going to be happening. I think any surprises obviously are going to wait until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And as far as AEW with Blood and Guts, I don't like, unless Kenny comes back to help Team AEW, beat the Elite at War Games. Like that could possibly, like, I haven't heard shit about Kenny and being cleared. I have no clue. Like they've been very, very hush on it. I would love Kenny to obviously be back before All In. And I think that would be a good way for him to be like, hey, you got, like, I was the leader of Elite, like the Elite, and like this is not the Elite. Like you guys are douchebags, and then join Team AEW and like help them win, because the Elite right now have been kind of like running shop, and it's kind of annoying.
Right.
So I would love to see Kenny come out and like really like screw over the Elite.
All right, that sounds good. I'll just say AJ Lee's coming back. I'm kidding. She ain't coming.
She ain't coming back.
She's been brought up quite a bit though. So
she has, but they're probably gonna wait for a Royal Rumble for that.
Yeah, that would be a PLE.
That's a Royal Rumble,
return, man.
Yeah,
but that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
You think she still got it?
I think she definitely does. Did you see her in heels? You got it.
All right, y'all. Let's get up out of here. Fancy Tees. What's up with that, man?
Man, it's coming this weekend, so it's in a couple days. So I don't even know if this video is going to be up by the time.
I'll have it up.
But yeah, it's this weekend, the 20th on Saturday. Still got tickets available. It's a DC Browse, our 2-year anniversary. This is our D&D fantasy themed show, a choose your own adventure. We have a giant inflatable dice that the audience is going to be able to roll. It's going to affect the outcome of the story and to change the songs that the performers are going to perform to. So it does affect certain things. And I wrote the whole story.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm a big
nice.
So I wrote literally the entire story based on all the performers, and it's gonna be great.
All right, that sounds pretty cool. I like how you kind of amalgamated like the event you do with the D&D is pretty sweet, man.
Yeah.
Props, dude. Webster Style, man, traveling, but man, hopefully to return soon and Gonna kick back on what you got going on. I know it probably slowed down because of the travels, but what's up?
Yeah, slowed down a little bit, but I got stuff out I did last week. So my video interview with Adele Starlet and her Cummings is out. That came out last Friday. Monday, I dropped my interview with Dave Schwartz talking about his new comic book, Confederate Monster. And yesterday, my interview with artist Christian Michael from Homebrew Comics talking about his comic Crit. So all those are up now on webstar.com as well as YouTube.
There you go. Check out my man Webster Style. Check out my man Sean Mongold, especially if you're in the DC area. Go check out Fanatees, man. That just sounds amazing. Love it. Props to you, sir. Props to you, Webster Style. Man, just lots of going on. Make sure you like, share, subscribe with the homies. Their links in the description below. You're on the NRW. I appreciate you, man. I got a ton of stuff going on. I've been busy, and I got more stuff to do right now with Webster Style. Go check out the Checkpoint gaming show in just a second. If you're watching this around the same time, but we about to record that for you right now. Anyway, Webster Style, Sean Mongold, your boy Kuya P. We're out of here in a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Well, you're not gonna bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
I'm gonna stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
You can hide behind that commissioner's stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
And if you don't think I'm big enough, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
All right, just jerk Helmsley off.
There's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time, if you catch my meaning. I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you and I getting it on like two men should do.
Oh, no, that's it, right.
Corey boy, I'm coming hard.